What is up, you guys? The Fallout What If here, and today I gotta be doing, a new video of this, what if Deku was the reincarnation of Broly. Now, I'm going to do the Ruby one next because, yeah, I did say I was going to do it, and then I just put it up a post. So, yeah, pretty much I screwed up there, so I'm just going to do this for heck's sake. Now, what I'm going to do in the Broly What If is much more different than Lasto, so yeah, shout out to Lasto. And there's some other people too. I think Patrick Thornhill, shout him out. He's been there for he's been here for quite a while, you know. Let's see, give me a second here. Okay, Shadow Archer. Let's see, who else? Okay, anyway, let's see, David Carball. He's one that I think I remembered in the channel. Master Blaster, Sage Thrower. Let's see, Liliana Neko, Lasto. I guess Ethan Huckabee has been here for quite a while, so you know, let's shout him out. Let's see. Okay, I don't know how to spell this guy's name, but I guess, yeah, for I guess being cringe, I guess. Let's see, Just Combo, Ambush What Ifer. Go look at his you know what, I'm going to look right now, and it's about to be two minutes. What if Deku had a servant quirk? So go check that out right there. Let's see, Dark Void, Brett Cross. Let's see, And it sounds cringe when you try to play the character's voices. Oh, jeez, that kind of sucks. Let's see. Oh, it's already time. So anyway, you guys, here's what's going to happen. Deku is already going to be, well, in this form. He knows how to control it a little bit because him and Goku have already, you know, trained. Because Goku wanted to meet him for a very long time. The reason why he couldn't go there was because sometimes he can't interfere with, with stuff with the humans. And he knows that very well. As much as he hates to admit it, he can't do a thing about it. But, in the very least, he knew that freaking Broly was going to calm down due to the fact that the girls were there to protect him, or to at least keep him sane. If not, yeah, pretty much the whole freaking place was going to die. Everything was going to be destroyed. Nothing much was said. So anyway, Deku and Goku have been talking about him being a reincarnation. They wanted to give him a good life. How do I say this? They wanted to give him like a life where he can be happy and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty much that's it. Now, let's just go to the freaking, let's say half of the week, or like 1 week has passed, and basically, Goku has told him, look, do you want to be called Broly or Deku? We don't know nowadays. Deku says, well, I guess Deku would be fine. Oh, okay. So anyway, Deku, this has been a while since we told you this, but do you want to learn how to master the Berserker form that you use? And Deku just says, I don't know, really. It's kind of hard to do, and besides, there's not a lot of strong people in this world to, like, just automatically have the fight to the death with. Have a fight to the death with. So it's probably not that big of a deal. And Goku says, oh, well, alright. Well, one day you can train with me still. Like I said, you're always welcome here. And Vegeta's pretty much minding his own business. Just doing, you know, God stuff. I don't really know what he does. So, anyway. Now we're going to cut to the whole freaking, what was it called? To Goku, not Goku. The Bakugo and Mina date. Well, I'm using a little bit of Lasto's idea, but they want to go out with him because freaking Mina wants to just, hop on the freaking Broly, go into freaking Broly, Deku's hearts. That's what I was going to say, people. Now, anyway, Mina just goes and has a date with him, and they go for, how would I say it? Probably just the movies. And they just do a lot of fun stuff. They go a little bit of karaoke. They're going to a karaoke place. Let's see. They're trying they're trying some street food. And let's see. Oh, yes. And they're basically in the park. Just pretty much Mina is just like holding on to him. And Bakugo is there like looking at what she's doing. And she's just like saying, I got this already. And it's like her face is being shown. And freaking Bakugo is like almost destroying a tree because the freaking explosions she's putting off. And yeah, pretty much Deku knows that she's there. At the same time, he's like thinking, why did I get into this situation again? Why was this me? I could destroy a world. Now I'm scared of this little blonde lady. Now anyway, pretty much Deku is done with her. Now it's time for freaking Bakugo. They actually go to a different place. They go to a restaurant, and they talk for a little while, and she tells him that she's so happy that he has a quirk now. Or what she thinks to be as a quirk. Not only that, she's happy for the fact that Deku is no longer going to be a weakling. Although she does like Deku because he was pretty much nice to her. And pretty much she was weak at the time. And so she's pretty much comfortable with that. So getting used to Deku now will be quite, it's going to be quite different. But either way, Deku is still Deku to her. And she still loves him. Now, what they do after that is probably just go and to, like, let's say a carnival or something like that. I don't know what they have over there. And pretty much they're on the Ferris wheel. And since it's a little too big, because since it's a little too small, Deku is like, well, basically a giant compared to her. She's like, let's say if she's like 5 feet, Deku's like at least a good 6. Like, she's 6.4, and Deku would be, what, 6'8" by now? He's going to get a little more bigger. He's going to at least reach 7 feet soon. Now, Deku is just right there, and since she knows that pretty much Deku is in the way, she basically sits on Deku's lap. And she knows that Mina's there, since freaking Mina is like on the other side of the, how would I say it? She's on the other side of the freaking Ferris wheel. And basically, she's right there and flicking her off. And she's saying, I got this. And Mina's automatically splurting out acid. A little bit of the acid's like burning through all the freaking, burning through the metal. And at least going through the freaking floor. Now, let's see. Pretty much the date ends there. And basically, Deku just takes the two of them home. Bakugo is right there, and she just gives Deku a kiss while Mina is not looking. And she says, there's no way I'm going to lose to that girl. Do you understand me? And Deku's like, oh, jeez. Yes, Bakugo, I understand. But, it's like, you two are friends, right? Yes, Deku, we're friends and all. But at the same time, me and her are love rivals. We love you. The only thing that makes me mad is the fact that she's having her claws on you. Now, go take her, and I'll wait for you at home, alright? And Deku says, alright. So, Deku walks with her because she doesn't live too far. And so Deku would just have like a lovely little stroll with her. And basically, Mina tells him that she feels happy at the fact that Deku was in her life. Sure, they had their little bit of complications at first, and yes, Deku was taken away, but at the same time, she never actually hated the guy. She never actually thought of anything besides him as a lovable idiot. Or at least a lovable, smart idiot. But now she sees him a little more differently. Nowadays, she sees him as a kind and genuine person. Even before the whole Broly transformation, she felt so happy with him. And Deku, at the same time, sees freaking Chilai once again inside freaking Mina. So it's kind of like a nostalgic feeling for him. And Deku's like, yeah, it's weird for me too, I guess. I mean, you both are friends, right? And Deku's just trying to see, like, the voice of reason. What if she has it and all that stuff? And she says, no, not a chance. Not a chance, Deku. I'm going to destroy her and take you. I'm like, jeez, golly. Both of you don't want to, like, you know, talk this out? All this stuff, make a compromise? And she's like, nope. Probably in the near future, but no, not right now. We know one of us has to one of us has to get you, and I need to make sure it's me. Now, she's basically taken home, and Deku just flies off, but somebody's following him. Now this is All Might, and Deku stops and looks at him, because the whole thing with All Might almost being found out, but nobody can talk about it. Well, pretty much All Might tells him, young man, how have you been? And Deku's like, fine, All Might. How have you been? How's that injury? Still holding up? And freaking All Might says, yes, young man, I've been holding up very well. Look, I don't care anymore that I didn't have you as a successor. Although I do regret it, at the same time, now you have the strength to fight people. You're not a complete weakling now. And Deku says, so, what's this all about? And he says, why don't you try to take my quirk again? You could probably use it, and you'll become stronger than what you already are now. And Deku says, not a chance. And All Might says, wait, what do you mean, not a chance? Explain yourself now, young man. And Deku says, I'm already stronger than you. You basically would have lost to the Nomu. And if you would have lost to him, you would have lost to me easily. And freaking All Might's like, but, jeez. Look. The last time you were in your berserker state. So, why don't me and you go to the freaking, onto Dagobah Beach, where we last trained at. And we can see which one of us is the strongest one right now. If you win, I won't bother you ever again. But if I win, you will still have to follow me. And not only that, you will have to take my quirk. And Deku, kind of growling a bit, says, fine. We're going to fight. But, if you end up dead, don't complain to me. And All Might's like, oh, such big talk. You may have gotten me that time, but let's see how it will feel like if I go seriously. And Deku, in his mind, is like, oh yeah, he's already gone seriously. Jeez, he's such a baby. Alright, let's go. And now the two head off. Now, Deku and him go and start getting into their stance. And freaking All Might says, 3, 2, 1, go. And basically both of them are now starting to punch each other. Deku is dodging pretty much All Might's attacks, and All Might's trying to get him, and freaking All Might's like, wait a minute, why can I not hit him? He's so fast. And Deku is right behind him and pushing him out of the way. Well, he pushed him into the ground, and All Might's like, ugh, ugh, ugh. Well, he got sand in my mouth. And Deku's like, yeah, I pretty much don't care. Deku is just looking at him with much more primal rage, And he starts to show off a bit of his aura, his ki, his kai, whatever the heck you want to call it nowadays. His fountain of youth. That kind of situation right here, people. Now, here's the thing. All Might starts to charge in and basically tries to punch him, tries to get a punch off of him. Doesn't work. Deku gets a punch on his freaking stomach. It actually, he landed the blow. And All Might, it feels very weak right now. His stomach is basically in pain, which is near the freaking injury that he has. Now, Deku just summons a Ki Blast and shoots it right at his face. The freaking Ki Blast exploding. Freaking All Might's like dazed for a couple of seconds. And Deku automatically grabs his leg and just slams his body down to the ground once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and a good 13. Now, freaking All Might's on the ground, and Deku just steps on his freaking face, and he says, "You are not worthy of giving me freaking weak powers of yours. You think that you were actually stronger than me? Sure, I may have looked up to you, and sure, I may have cried when you took the quirk back, but I am my own man now. There's somebody who is way stronger than you, and I know he's probably way stronger than me. Me and him are going to train, and one day I'll become stronger than him, I hope. And besides, you could give it to somebody else besides me. Somebody with an actual quirk." And this is when All Might hears this and he says, "Wait a minute. What do you mean with an actual quirk?" And Deku's like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you. This isn't a quirk at all. My genetics have, surrendered for quite a while." Basically, what I'm trying to get at here is, this isn't a quirk, but my body actually getting used to its new, how would I say it, spirit. And that's all that he's going to give All Might. And All Might says, "But wait a minute. You do not want this power? This has the strength to increase your body, increase your stamina, increase everything about you." And Deku says, "Well, as a certain artist once said, you basically can't upgrade perfection. Or basically, you can't, how do I say it? You cannot upgrade something that's already perfect." And yeah, Deku is like having this attitude towards him, because he knows one thing. All Might is now weaker than him. Now, Deku doesn't have to care about what All Might does. He doesn't care about All Might at all. Which basically means that Deku is going to be very, very OP in this. Now, we just cut to a week later, and basically everybody goes into the USJ Sports Festival. Now, Deku basically gets excited about this, and how do I say it? All Might looks at freaking Deku, and Deku looks at him flipping him off, and All Might feeling a little irritated about this, but he knows that he pretty much can't do nothing at this point, or at the moment at least. And yeah, pretty much Deku is now going to, basically Deku's now going to go into the freaking sports festival, do what he has to do, and pretty much that's it. Now, Deku, the race has started, so let's go into it now. So, Deku is automatically running, as fast as he can, and basically, it takes a good, 45 seconds. Because if you don't know this, Broly is actually fast. If you've ever seen the part of the movie, like the Broly movie, like the new one, basically Broly just jumped or leaped, and he just got probably within a good mile in seconds. So this is nothing but child's play for him. So Deku is running and basically wins. Now, all the other people are just, he's just waiting for all the other people. And let's see, Bakugo, then freaking, Todoroki, no, yeah, Todoroki, and, you know, all that people, all that stuff. Now, freaking Bakugo gets a little irritated of the fact that Deku won, but at the same time, she's very happy that that he won. Which means, like, at the same time, she's like, I lost, but at the same time, Deku is finally getting, achieving parts of his dream, which she's basically happy for. Mina is right there, holding him and saying, Deku, look at that, you won! And then just freaking, looking at Bakugo, doing something with her eye, and at the same time going, meh, pretty much sticking her tongue out. Freaking Bakugo wants to kill her right now, but at the same time, she must be calm. She must be calm. It's her friend. Not only that, it's Deku's friend, which also she helped, you know, get through hard times with. So, it's like rationality versus berserker mode. Now, the cavalry battle. The cavalry battle, yes. The cavalry battle goes differently. Let's see. Let's say this. It's Deku and freaking, Deku, Bakugo, and Mina. Let's say Ochako. Pretty much that's it. Now, the race starts and freaking Deku just, well, he just basically starts flying up in the air and just staying there for the remainder of the time because he has 1,000,000 points. It pretty much means that Deku is in the clear. Now, Bakugo is like wishing that she would fight, but at the same time, she knows that you can't just do anything irrational. And since Deku's like, no, Bakugo, we can't do that. You know that we've already won, right? And she's like, yes, I know we already won, but at the same time, I want to just go and get at least some of their headbands. And Deku's like, sheesh. Let's see. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, freaking Bakugo. Come on now. We already have 1,000,000 points. We don't need to show off, because if we did show off, then at least it won't be fair to the other people. So Deku just complimented on her, and it basically fed her ego. Her ego. And it's like, okay, fine. I won't do nothing. Now, let's see, basically they won, and now let's go to the whole freaking, the fights. So, basically everything, all the fights stay as in canon, even though Bakugo, didn't do a lot to a lot of other people. Basically, somebody in the, either Todoroki, or how do I say it, I don't know who else. Basically, they made it, and all that happens. So, yeah. Now, let's go to the freaking fight between Deku and Shinzo. Now, Deku and him start to go fight. Shinzo tells him, what time is it? And Deku just says, it's pretty much around 12. And Deku is already unconscious. Bakugo is getting mad and trying to let off explosions, but Mina is like just like holding her down, is like, stop it, just like heal, bad girl, bad dog. And Bakugo is hissing at them. Now freaking they're scared of the fact that Deku's now being mind controlled, and basically freaking Shuso. I really forget how his name is pronounced. But yeah, he is telling him to walk out of bounds. Which Deku is doing, actually. He's walking out. And actually on the probably like 15th step, Deku just stopped. And freaking Shiso says, wait a minute, what are you doing? I said go. Go out of bounds, and just basically, how would I say it? Go out of bounds. uh, go out of bounds and lose. And Deku just basically turns back around and starts walking towards Shiso. And Deku is looking at him and just saying, "You really think that that was going to work on me? I have a lot of rage in my heart, and it's peaceful right now. The fact that you thought that you can control me is getting me mad. But I'm not going to break your bones. You are not worth the effort to break." And basically, he just shoots out a freaking ball of energy, and basically hits Shiso. And yeah, he's pretty much out of bounds because the explosion was pretty, like, big, but it wasn't going to kill him. It was kind of like the explosions in the freaking, the running exam, where the explosions were basically all pink and stuff. Basically all that. But instead of pink, it's green. Now, Deku basically gets to go and he wins. Basically looking at All Might, them having their own little stare down, but Deku in the very end just leaving. Now, let's see, basically the whole thing with Bakugo and Kirishima, not Bakugo and Kirishima, Bakugo and Ochako, yeah, pretty much she explodes her and basically pushes her out of bounds because she doesn't want to, like, waste her time. She wants to fight Deku because she wants to know how strong he truly is, because they've never fought, and since now's the perfect opportunity, yeah, pretty much there's going to be a lot of things happening. Now, the whole thing with Mina still gets to win. Let's see, pretty much, let's say that pretty much she wins. She gets, like, her highest is when freaking Todoroki will fight her, or somebody at least. Yeah, so anyway, let's go to the whole part with freaking Deku versus Todoroki. Now, the whole thing with that, all my, freaking Endeavor told freaking, Deku to, like, to make Todoroki use his powers on him. And Deku was like, he's your son. He's not a tool for you to use. And freaking Endeavor's like, look, whatever you're saying right now, it doesn't concern me. But the fact of the matter is that he has my genetics, which means he needs to be trained. But he is defying me. But that's okay, because that's what all people do in the first end. They defy their parents. It's a natural thing. I've done it myself. But sooner or later, he's going to appreciate what I do for him. And Deku's getting a little mad. He tells freaking Endeavor, you do understand that if you show him love and compassion, if you show him that you truly care about him, if you show him that your love for him is more important than you wanting him to become a vessel to be All Might, even though I don't like the guy, it doesn't matter. You should at least show him compassion and love. He's your son for... sheesh. Look. He needs a father. Not a sergeant. Not a trainer. A son. You will be wise to remember that, Endeavor. And Endeavor just says, I don't really care about that right now. All I just need you to do is to get Todoroki to use his fire side. Nothing more, nothing less. And basically, freaking Deku is just walking to the ring and talking to freaking Todoroki. And he says that, Todoroki, do you have a minute for us to talk? And this is when Todoroki and him basically start to talk. Deku tells him to shoot up ice all around him because he needs to talk about Endeavor. Now, freaking Endeavor and all the other people do not hear or see what's going to happen, but Deku tells him that he knows all about Endeavor, and he told him what what Endeavor wanted out of him. Todoroki gets a little mad and stuff, but Deku calms him down. And he says this, "Look, you may not believe this, but my father," or he's not going to say like his incarnation father, or like his first father, like his father from his other past. He just tells him, "Todoroki, I know what you're going through right now. Me and you are one and the same. Look, my father was the same with me. Or he didn't try to be a father, he just controlled me. And that's what your father is doing to you right now. Now, hear me out, Todoroki. Use your fire side. But use it the way you want to. It's your quirk and all that stuff. So don't worry about it." And this is when freaking Todoroki just tells him that he really doesn't want to use his fire side because of his past. And Deku's like, I understand. I understand the past isn't easy to live. To relive it is a terror. It's a terrible thing to go through. Your past is your past, but do not let it control you. Understand that one day you're going to have to get through these emotions. You're going to have to fight back. But at the same time, you cannot let your two quirks, or at least one of them, you should use them. You shouldn't just hide it. You are Todoroki. You are also a fire user, not just an ice user, which means that in the very end, you have to use it because it's a part of you. It's a part of you, so use it. Alright? And Todoroki almost feels like he should cry, but everybody's wanting to see what's happened. Mina feels kind of upset at the fact that Todoroki and Deku aren't showing up. Bakugo is feeling scared because she knows about Deku, and Mina knows about what Deku can do. Deku can turn into a bit like a stronger person and start destroying stuff. So she's kind of like, she's waiting for what's to come. And basically Todoroki and him, Deku, get out of the freaking, how do I say it? Get out of the ice, freaking pillar. And basically they start to fight now. So nobody knows what's going to happen, but freaking Todoroki just shoots out a big gust of fire. And basically freaking Endeavor sees this, and he gets this little Shoto moment. And yeah, pretty much that all happens. So let's begin with Deku and him starting to shoot out, like Deku shooting out parts of the ki blasts, and Todoroki shoots out ice. So basically all that happens. Deku is being like frozen solid by one attack because he was careless, but Deku is just burning the top half of the freaking ice pillar up in the air with his freaking eraser cannon, and basically almost shooting it, but also limiting his how big and how far he wants it, because he can actually shoot it to the point where, like, if he was he could shoot it to as far as how would I say it? Yeah, pretty much as big as the Kamehameha wave itself, or at least that far of a distance. Now, Deku automatically just starts shooting ki blasts, and then becomes a little more bigger, or at least using his Ozaru form, or his like stronger form, and basically running towards the freaking ice, breaking it all, And the fire is basically shooting at freaking Deku, but Deku is just blowing it away, like if it's nothing. And Todoroki's like, oh crap. It's a good thing I'm actually... Oh, hold on. He's thinking to himself, oh crap. It's a good thing I used two of my quirks. Because, yeah, that's kind of scary. Sheesh. Yeah, pretty much Deku grabs Todoroki and throws him out of the ring, slamming him into the wall. Todoroki is like, thank you, Izuku, for changing me. And, yeah, not for the fact that you threw me to a wall and almost broke my spine and all that stuff. No, no, no. That would be called crazy. But anyway, Deku and freaking, no, it's Bakugo versus Kirishima. She's pretty much shooting out, like, new kinds of, blasts at, Todoroki, no, at freaking Kirishima. He loses. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know when Mina lost in the whole freaking, part of UA. But let's say that, You know what? Let me go check. So, she lost to Tokoyami because, well, mostly because freaking Dark Shadow is stronger than Acid itself. So, yeah, pretty much they had a good run. Let's see, who else? Yeah. I don't know who else the fight goes with. Let's say freaking, it's Deku that fights freaking Tokoyami. And Deku just tells him, there's no hard feelings about what you did to Mina. Although I should do an eraser cannon right now. Jeez, that would be freaking brutal. Oh, man, that would be oh, sheesh. But no. Deku is fighting Dark Shadow. And Dark Shadow is evading a lot of the attacks, but Deku is just shooting. He shoots a blast at freaking Tokoyami. And since Dark Shadow knows that Tokoyami is more weaker than him, he just basically starts defending him. And Deku is now in the offensive because now he has nowhere else to run. If he dodges or anything like that, basically, freaking, what's-his-face is going to, Tokoyami's going to actually get out of the ring. But Deku has a plan. Since he now knows that freaking Tokoyami and Dark Shadow are basically revolving around the Dark itself. How do you beat Dark? Well, with a bright green flame. Or basically an aura, or a key, or the fountain of youth. Whatever. Now let's begin. Deku just shoots up his key, and basically he shoots, it's basically covering around Deku, and freaking Tokoyami sees the freaking bright green light that's showing. And he's basically turning smaller and smaller and smaller with each passing second that Deku is going straight towards him. Deku just says, I'm not going to hurt you. Either you get out of the ring right now, or I'm basically going to push you. And you're going to end up like Todoroki. So, the choice is yours. Tokoyami knows what he's going to pick, people. He's just going to, like, get out of the ring, not try to, have a, broken back and all that stuff. So that's all that happens. Now, let's just cut to the freaking fight with between Bakugo and Deku, and basically Mina is cheering the both of them on. Even though she likes Deku, she also respects Bakugo. And so, yeah. Bakugo says, alright, nerd, you're going to have to lose for me, or this isn't going to be like last time. I'm going to be a lot more harder than you. And freaking Deku's like, I know. Besides, I'm going to win this one. And she's kind of like a little upset, like, wait a minute, what do you mean you're going to lose this, you're going to win this one? Or did I say, I'm going to win this one? Okay, yeah, he says that. And Bakugo is all like, wait a minute, what do you mean you're going to win this one? It's like, do you not understand the whole point that I was trying to make? And Deku's like, yeah, but both of us are strong, and I could technically beat All Might. it kind of happened. And Bakugo is hearing what he's saying, and he's like, oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that. Oh, sheesh. Okay, now I gotta, rethink my steps right here. So, yeah, now, Deku just automatically is getting blasted at. Her just shooting a lot of blasts towards him. And Deku is just basically, he hits her in the stomach with a palm. And basically, she's about to get out of bounds. But she explodes, like 2 very big explosions, which stops her in the nick of time. And she basically goes up in the air, and Deku is going up in the air. Basically, she's now flying and trying to kick towards freaking she's trying to kick towards freaking Deku, and Deku dodges and all that stuff. And Deku just lands in the freaking, how do I say it? In the freaking, in the arena, in the battle arena. And freaking Bakugo sees all this, and she's like, you should have done that, nerd. And just basically does her freaking, what was it called? Howitzer impact? Or giant howitzer impact and all that stuff. And basically, a tornado just shoots at freaking Deku. Deku just turns in his Ozaru form, raising up his power level to maximum, and basically, how do I say it? Him just using an attack that he knows all too well, which basically, how would I say this? It just shoots out an aura, and anybody around him, in a 6-foot radius, is going to be pushed back by a lot. So the fact that Deku did this while Bakugo was doing her howitzer impact, 2 of the impacts explode, and Deku is right there standing, and freaking Bakugo is on the ground, out of bounds, and Deku just basically runs at her and starts to carry her, flying her as fast as he can to freaking Recovery Girl. And Deku is healing her with his own ki. Just he grabs her freaking shoulder. Oh yeah, he grabs her shoulder and starts to let out freaking ki, so that way her body will have a lot of energy. And yeah, pretty much all that happens. Mina is right there taking care of Bakugo, but she wants to go see the freaking the awards being give out. And yeah, so Bakugo gets up, and yeah, due to her ill-tempered nature, she basically gets up to the 2nd place platform. So yeah, that all happens. And all the people, All Might gives the 2 freaking awards to freaking Tokoyami, which I hope, yeah, Tokoyami, and freaking Bakugo, and freaking All Might is looking at Deku, and Deku's like, well, are you waiting for something, All Might? Do you need a little bit of a push and all that stuff? And freaking All Might's like, well, young Izuku, I am honored to give you 1st place. And freaking All Might has to be happy, but at the same time, he's kind of mad for the whole fight that happened. So yeah, freaking Deku is the winner. Everybody is cheering. Mitsuki and what's-his-face, Masaru, are basically proud of the man who will one day marry Bakugo, which freaking, Masaru called out that he was like, yeah, you do know that freaking Bakugo is going to probably date Deku. And basically she's all like, how do you know? Honey, do you understand that me and you are dating? Do you understand that we're married? And I'm not a fighter. I'm more of a nerd. I'm like Izuku, and you're like your daughter, like freaking Bakugo or Katsuki. You do understand the point that I'm trying to make is that these 2 are going to be with each other for a very long time. So yeah, Mitsuki just remembers that, and she's like, wait a minute, have they done anything? And basically, freaking Masaru was like, well, they gone on dates, or they gone on a date. And technically, Bakugo did go for, she said, a special training, which both of them have done before. Deku was more of the person who was, needed to know how to do, like, a lot of fighting, because his fighting was kind of weird. And Bakugo doesn't know about the whole freaking Goku situation. So Deku was like, alright, I'll go train with you. Yeah, I'm not going to tell freaking her that I met a freaking angel and a freaking god of destruction. I don't need that all in my plate. So yeah, all that happens. And Mitsuki gets a little, like, she's a little scared of the fact that, you know, it was a special training night, as people may call it. And as they should. Now, all that happens, and pretty much everything goes well. So, I'm going to leave it off here. Like, comment, and do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout What If here. Bye.